Hello everybody, this is Gregory with How I Lost Over 100 Pounds and I've kept it off for 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitance in your weight loss and maintenance. Today I'm going to talk about the benefits of having your food delivered so you can avoid going to the supermarket. Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also check out my website Naturopathic Earth, which has hundreds of articles and recipes, my podcast The Awakened Man, which has been around since 2017, and if you appreciate my content, there is a link for PayPal. All right, so there has been a growth of this industry, certainly from your grocery store. Now, your grocery store is not a saint. We have an episode here, your grocery store is constantly trying to manipulate you into buying more stuff. But certainly post-COVID, you've seen a growth in the kind of drive-up grocery feature. So you can use your phone, your computer, and order the stuff that you want, and then at a certain time, you're going to pull up and they just bring the food to you, or you can even have the food delivered to you, your groceries delivered to you. Every course grocery store chain is different. Now, what are the pros and cons of doing this? A con of doing this is that they mark up the price of everything. So if you buy something that's normally $2, it's going to be $2.50, for example, and they mark it up for the convenience of having it delivered to your car. So understand that 30 cents here, 40 cents here, this adds up. This adds up. Now, if you're wealthy and money is not an issue, all right, you're like, yeah, well, I'm gonna have to go through all the lines and deal with all the hectic and all the manipulation that they do in the grocery store if I can just get it delivered straight to my car. Totally understand that. So that would be a pro of having this service done. I would tell you have to look at the deeper issue, because if you're needing or think it's a good idea to have your food delivered to your house or delivered to your car, and the big argument I would say as to why people do this is because they'll say, well, if I go inside the supermarket, I'm going to buy foods that I normally don't want, right? How often do we hear that? And that's normally a lot of that's due to two things. One is grocery store manipulation. So they put the foods in different regions of the grocery store. So you're going through the expensive part of the grocery store, which is the middle aisle packaged food. Right? So they do that intentionally. They'll put in all their deals at the front of the store, and they'll put the kids cereals on the bottom on the kid level, so the kids will see them. There's just constant manipulation. So it's understandable, like if you go to a grocery store, you're more likely, and they know this, if they put the produce in the front and the dairy in the back, they know that a lot of people need milk, yogurt, cheese, whatever. You're going to go to them and they're like, oh, those chips look good. Or if you feel emotional at the time, if you're angry, stressed, happy, oh, I'm just mad at my ex, mad at my spouse, and I'm going to grab these peanut butter cups, grab these Cheetos. Right? They know this. They know you're going to do that. So that's one reason not to go in, is because you're going to get manipulated by the grocery store. But I think the bigger reason is this. If you always have a temptation to buy stuff at the grocery store, then you haven't dealt with the inner problem that you have. Because if you don't have a disordered relationship with food, you can go into the store and just get what you need. Get your organic Greek yogurt, get your carrots, get whatever you need. And it's not a problem. But if you have a disordered relationship with food, and the large majority of overweight people do, that's how they became overweight, then it's hard, right? Because you want to go in and buy all these things. And so I would tell you, the solution is to, like a lot of these videos, is to do the deep work, is to do the therapy, is to figure out why you have a disordered relationship with food. Because once you do that and you fix the source of that, then you can just go to grocery stores, go inside, and just get what you need and walk out. But if you don't, you're certainly going to be more tempted that if you do go in the grocery store to buy a bunch of junk food that you don't need, which is exactly what the big grocery store wants. So going back to delivery, either delivery to your house or delivery to the car. If you have impulse control problems, and money is not an object, then yeah, have the food delivered to you, because you're less likely to grab those Cheetos if they're being delivered to your house and or you're getting in the car. But I would tell you, I mean, look, there's an argument to this. I mean, you could do that, but on the way home you see that McDonald's and you go get 4 Big Macs. So it kind of defeats the purpose. And certainly with Grubhub and Uber Eats, you can have all this junk food from Chili's or wherever sent directly to your house. So it ultimately is like a whack-a-mole game, you know, where you're hitting the stick and a mole comes up, you hit that one, but then another comes up, you hit that one. And this is the whole problem. When you have a disordered relationship with food, you're really not going to fix any of these things. It's always going to be a struggle. You're always going to have that monkey on your back, that temptation, because you haven't done the deep work to figure out why you have a disordered relationship with food. So brothers and sisters in Christ, I would tell you that the goal is to do that, because if not, you're going to be calorie outing, you're going to be working out and then eating poorly. You're going to be doing all this like short-term whack-a-mole strategy, but in the long run, if you just have the introspection and have the deep work, and it can be difficult to figure out the trauma that happened to you as a child as to why you have a disordered relationship with food. Ultimately, though, even though it's going to be more difficult at the beginning, in the long run, it's going to facilitate and ameliorate your life. Guys, post in the comments. Let me know if you use the delivery service. What's your take on all this? Hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Until next time, take care, God bless, and pray.